Hi everyone. How are you? So this video is not a reading. This video is just reviewing this movie, going through it. If you haven't seen it, it's a must watch. It's on YouTube. And this movie is showing what is coming, where all this is leading to, what the globalists, what Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum, Davos, COP, and all those other groups, the globalists, Chinese Communist Party working together, what they're actually up to. This movie is okay. My sound is working great. So Alex Jones went through this movie, and is created by an international graphics firm with military connections. They know what's coming. They know the plan, and they're showing you with this movie. And it's sort of like the goat movie, kind of. It's dystopian, and the message of the movie. I think that there's a second part coming. Um, they're showing that you can fight back. This man just fought back with a stick. You know how it's easy it is to fight back, but people just need to wake up and fight back and stop complying, because it's complying that is getting everybody into this. Hi, Tuppence. Have you seen this? This is a great movie. So there's a lot of little details in it, and if I miss any, let me know. But there's just so much to this. They put so much work. It's an outstanding movie. Best movie of the year. This one should be winning all the awards this year. So let me start playing it if I can find it again. I have so many windows open. Okay, here we go. Beyond the Recess. So the Chinese Communist Party type camp. They have these camps up already. Not too distant future. Yeah, by 2030 they want to do this. You see this is where they want to put us all to keep us safe. Quarantine facility in North American prairies. All the drones flying around. 5G towers. No, I just want to stop because there's little details that you can miss. I'm not usually good at catching all these little details. I want to see what that sign says. Because every little thing, quarantine isolation facility, keep out. And they have surveillance camera. So this is where, so that's the plan, is the next pandemic is going to be like Ebola or Marburg, and they're going to say, oh, it's too dangerous out there to keep you safe. We're going to take you to a nice, safe, um, what are they going to call it? A health facility or something of that nature. They're not going to quarantine facility. This is what they're setting up. They already have this set up for people. C31, this is where they want to put everybody. After they kill a lot of people with the vaccines, and then, oh boy, we get in trouble for saying that. Then they put you in this, the movie. I'm just reviewing the movie. Look at all these trucks, cameras around. This is what they do in China. This is exactly what they did in China. Drones telling people to stay in their apartments. People are screaming. And look, they got it's huge. They put everybody into these. So they're doing all around the world, Australia, New Zealand. They get the drones that deliver. They kind of get recyclables here, taking out the garbage. Everything's done by computer. See their garbage recycling. So the little box that got delivered. You know how they're saying that in the future, you don't need anything. That you rent what you need, and they'll just deliver it with a drone. You see that? This is what they're enticing people with their dystopian future. Oh, we'll deliver everything to you. Yeah, you don't have to leave your house. So this guy is trapped in his apartment. He's not allowed out. So there's his little, they're showing you the little tiny, what you get. You get one coffee maker, one cup, one plate there, a little microwave. Look how barren and empty it is. No life in it. It's a prison cell. A little one-room studio here. They're in the quarantine, and they had these exact quarantine camps. They already used them in Australia, right? If you didn't have a mask on, or if you weren't up to date on your boosters, they put people in these camps and they charged you for it. And this guy has to pay for this. So they put you in these camps and you pay the rent with your universal basic income that they give you. It's gonna coming up next. So there he's got his copy of The Great Reset. So he wakes up every day in this prison cell, looks exactly all gray and drab. His outfit is gray and drab. And he's a weekly food ration on the box there. And he's got, they notice on his hand, there's a bracelet. It's his prison bracelet to monitor him. And he gets a single cup of coffee. Wow, he's allowed a cup of coffee. What a miracle. And he's only allowed on his little balcony there. Aerial patrol. See the 5G towers in the background. Oh, see, they're tracking him. They know his name, his age, his social credit score. And they do this already in China. This is where they're heading to here, what they're trying to do. And there's his neighbor he waves at. They can't talk, they can't meet. They can only wave. Oh, and then he gets the censored news, just like the mainstream media we have nowadays. This is exactly the same.
We are bringing to you today's most important news from around the world. Despite all the extraordinary efforts, the government and health system workers are still struggling to bend the curve of growing cases caused by the latest variant of the virus.
So that this non-stop viruses going into the future, right? Because like they said, there's one pandemic, there's another pandemic coming, then another pandemic coming. This is what,
5 more people died today, and 30 million tested positively.
5 more people died, 30 million tested positively with our fraudulent
Citizens
tests.
are now required to wear masks when they step out to the balconies of their isolation facilities and take them off.
Wear your mask on, put your slave mask on, right? So you get the news telling you what to do. Huh? Isn't that interesting? Now, the news doesn't inform you, it tells you what to do, right?
Only when they are back to the safety of their rooms. Stay compliant. Stay isolated. Stay safe.
Well, what was the catchphrases they used during the COVID? Was that I don't remember the catch, but this is like very much, the same thing. CIS there, right?
And now, on to other news.
And that's the World Economic Forum, backdrop that Klaus Schwab uses, right, with his pictures. There's his face behind it.
As the whole planet went on the righteous crusade against climate change and global warming, we are excited to spread the word about another successful project.
See, so many birds and rare birds, eagles, have been killed by these windmills, and Obama pushed to build windmills off the coast of Massachusetts to murder all of the animals. They don't care about the animals or anyone. When you see these towers, I've heard that they're just piles of dead birds at the bottom of it, of these towers. I mean, they're so destructive.
As science tells us, during the night, plants release CO2 into the atmosphere.
Now, this turns out this is actual fact, and they try to use this with their global warming. But the fact of the matter is, during the day, they produce tons of oxygen. But at the nighttime, I guess they sometimes produce CO2, is what I've heard.
CO2 is a powerful greenhouse gas that dramatically contributes to global warming. But don't worry.
See, all of this is true. This movie is using the facts of what they are actually saying. All this is true. That they're using to, kill humanity, basically.
100,000 square miles of South American rainforest has been cleared, and this area is used to construct one of the largest solar panel fields in the world that will provide.
I don't know if this is the actual plan, but it wouldn't surprise me. Can you imagine they would destroy precious rainforests, all the animals and plant life and herbs and medicines, and they're gonna put in these China solar panels made in China. And they all break, and are useless.
The tremendous amount of clean energy. We will keep fighting the deadly forests and defeat.
So the whole clean energy is to bring us back to the back to caveman days, because energy is what we need to remain free and independent. And they just want to bring us down to this,
defeat climate change. That is all for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's news.
Look how barren. Now, this is similar to the 1984 book, right? Where he's in his apartment, he's alone, and he's got a camera on him. You haven't seen the camera yet, but of course he's being monitored by the camera. And it's like in 1984, there was a huge screen in his room that monitored him. So this is very, 1984 looking. Gray drab outfit, the prison haircut. Okay, so now he's remembering the old days with his wife before Klaus Schwab and their criminal gang destroyed our lives. Because this is the plan with the smart cities that the UN is pushing with the UN Agenda 2030, this 2025, 2030, is they want to remove humans from nature and put you in those little cells and those little quarantine camps, and you're not going to be allowed. No humans will be allowed. And they have maps. They actually have maps. I'm sure you've seen where humans are only allowed in these little tiny areas of the country. And this is the US. There's maps of the US with this. And the vast swaths of the country and all the nature, no humans will be allowed in these areas anymore. So they're saying basically say goodbye to all of this, because this is what Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates and the rest of them want to take away from you. You'll never be able to go hiking or camping or spending time in nature anymore. Back in his
Bruce
cell.
Kowalski, your weekly food ration has arrived.
So yeah, they want to do this World Food Corp. So everything's global, everything's UN, and he gets his bugs. And you see the camera watching him in the upper left there, in his prison cell there. And then you can see everything he gets. Woke noodles with the BLM. And we can see that, the BLM with the rainbow behind it. See the rainbow flag and the BLM fist. That's all New World Order, all tyranny. And you see soybeans above that. This is what he has in his fridge. And you see the sodas. The first one says Be Green Cola. Be green. I mean, this is all brainwashing. This is all, gaslighting with their green energy, climate stuff here. Be compliant with red. There are woke noodles there. See, lots of little details in this. And this one says be gender neutral, right? So it's just like, who is that? Budweiser? Who's the one that said be less? Oh, Coca-Cola. Be less white. So they're kind of making fun of the Coca-Cola ads that were like, be less white. So they're putting these slogans, these propaganda slogans, gaslighting slogans on your soda cans. So they're kind of pointing that out, that all of this is part of the New World Order. None of this, of course, none of this is coincidence. This ESG and the trannies and everything else. And that comes up later too in this. I mean, this is just wild. This thing it's all based on facts. This is actually what they're doing. And I can't see if there's any comments. They're getting rid of all the old people that can't be swayed by them. Oh yeah, we're all toast. But you know what? Better to die on your feet than live on your knees, right? Yeah, you gotta watch this. This is great. And there's so many details in this. And again, this is all what they're doing. This is all based on fact, what they're doing. Yeah, Beyond Meats. Who makes that? Bill Gates with his cancer meats made from cancer cells that cause cancer. No meat for you. Beyond Plants. Yeah, they're gonna give you insects. It's gonna be all mealy worms and yeah, there we go with the grasshoppers. And you know, it's disgusting. You can see who the real satanic Illuminati people like Angelina Jolie and Nicole Kidman making their little commercials. There, you can find them on YouTube. You can look it up. Just they're eating bugs to try to make it look chic and cool. Look, I'm Angelina Jolie, you know, the beautiful world savior from the UN. You know, it's all the most evil ones are connected to the UN, and she's eating the bugs like worms. I mean, they're really pushing this. There's no joke, and they're pushing this on kids in schools. They're giving kids in schools these grasshoppers and whatnot to eat. They really want you eating bugs. See, he pulled the mask down to breathe the air, to smell the air, and so now the monitor here. See, everything will be AI, right? You don't even need humans to guard and monitor you. They just have their flying drones, and he's gonna come over and zap him for not having his face covered. This is where it's going. And already just recently in New York City, the mayor there just released their robot dog. I'm sure you may have heard. So they're starting this already. And they started the drones during the COVID. And there was a pushback on it. I think it was in Connecticut. I don't know if there's any places. I think San Francisco may have accepted them. So there's already drones going on. The police have already started using drones. So this is where they're headed with it. They're all made in China, and I have no doubt all the data goes back to China too.
Mask up your nose.
And Alex Jones is pointing out that they want to isolate us from other humans. They don't want any humans contacting because they want to make you depressed. They want to make you want to kill yourself. And they even with the drones, they don't use like a human sounding voice. They use this, you know, computer voice. Okay, so now the Netflix, they call it Spotflix. So look at the selection he has to watch on Netflix. Okay, and tell me this isn't exactly what's happening right now. So here we go with the Netflix. So Netflix is definitely part of the New World Order. They're the New World Order media, which everybody is disgusted with Netflix, obviously, because of all the wokeness and all of the pushing the pedophilia with that cuties thing. So Netflix is the New World Order, Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates media. And look what you get to watch when you're in your prison camp in the next few years. I mean, this is the next few years. They want this by 2030. This is what they're planning on. So you can watch drag ventures. You can watch drag movies with men mocking women and appropriating female stereotypes. You can watch that all you want. Isn't that great? You can watch all the drag movies you want. Oh, and then you can watch woke Disney, right? So now Disney, of course, because of the ESG with the BlackRock and Vanguard pushing them, Larry Fink saying, you know, you've got to make Disney more inclusive and diverse, right? Because this is all part of the gaslighting agenda. So old fairy tale told anew. So they're going to be all the woke Disney movies where you'll have Snow White being a big old fat black man. Yeah. And this is for real. This is what's going on. I mean, they're mocking it, but this is really going on, right? It says Snow White and the 7 not very tall individuals. You see that? They're doing the woke thing. You know, this is all part of the New World Order dystopia that they're actually building. These psychopaths are really doing this. Because you can't call anyone short anymore, right? Can't call them fat, right? So they're making everything like you have to speak. It's controlling the language, just like 1984. You control the language, you control the thinking, you control the minds, right? Oh, through tears and mockery. So again, a documentary about the men. And this is exactly what I ridicule or point out that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry never have. Meghan Markle, the queen of feminism, Miss Female Empowerment. She has nothing to say about men and women's sports, and that's because she's part of the New World Order. This is part of this. So through tears and mockery, so they're attacking women in every way, shape, and form. Hard-won victories of transgenders in women's sports. Hard-won victories. Uh-huh. We all know what a lie that is and how this is just, and they're pushing this on us. This is happening, of course, and we just came out. I mean, Piers Morgan arguing with a woke or Nazi communist New World Order. What was her name? Kate. I keep getting her name wrong. Katie Porter. This is what Katie Porter is supporting. This is all part of the New World Order globalist agenda. And it's to mess with your mind, to upset you, to say, you know what, we're controlling your reality now. We're gonna we're gonna tell you what's what. We're gonna make you crazy. Men are women, women are men. Pedophilia should be legal. They're trying to legalize pedophilia, and now all this nonsense. This is what you get to watch in the future. Green Friends, eco melodrama. So now you've got two men who are probably gay, and they're green. They're green, helping the environment there. Be a green friend. I see. So he's not taking the propaganda. He's one of us oldies that aren't taking it.
The Godfather movie is banned from our database for misrepresentation and
So you can't watch The Godfather in the future. You don't want to get any ideas of trying to overpower your enemies. Anything that would teach you how to fight and how to outmaneuver the enemy, they're going to ban. Misrepresentation and sterilization and stereotypization of Italian community.
stereotypization of the Italian community. Pulp Fiction movie is banned from our database for excessive violence and racist content.
Yeah, they don't want you to watch anything that will entice you to be a fighter, right? Teach you how to fight. Oh, here we go.
The movie 1984 never existed.
So that's what they'll tell future generations. 1984, that's just a myth. Like Antifa, that's just a myth. It's an idea. This is what they're really doing. They really think that they can control everyone's minds. And they're doing it. This is where they're heading in a few years. They're showing the boring day in, day out of a prisoner in Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates dystopia. This is what they want for us. They love this idea. Now that they have AI and everything computerized, they just love the idea of doing this. The satanic, bring everybody down. They had those Georgia Guidestones. They want to bring everybody down, the entire planet population down to, what is it, 600,000 or something? Not even that, probably. See, now he's fighting back. He's giving the finger to the camera. So you gotta see, they're showing you how easy it is to fight back if you want, I mean, imagine this being your life every day, day in, day out. You're getting radiated by the 5G. You got no social life. Can't go anywhere. You have bugs to eat. That's what they want. So he has one little friend across the way that he can't even talk to. So he has to watch fake news every day on his little iPad and being told what to do, and so they're going through all the seasons, like year after year. This is his life. And this is exactly, if you look up, I'm sure it's on YouTube, but in Australia, they already set these camps up, and I'm sure we have them here in the US and Canada, but they look exactly like this, the little front porch and the the drones and whatever coming to your door like this. This is exactly how they're building them. It looks exactly like this. This is what they have in China. And these are really good graphics. I mean, this graphic company, you can tell, is one of the best. They're top-notch graphics company. I mean, the snow is awesome. So promotion. Well, I don't know if you heard me earlier if I have my mic muted, but I was saying something with the numbers on the clock, why they're choosing 8:15 or 8:07, like there's some meaning to it. And notice he doesn't have any shoes either. They want to make sure you don't escape, so they probably won't give you any shoes, as they do in prisons too. So here we go, the 8:05 again. Like, what is with these 8 numbers? And then it jumps to 8:18, 8:05 to 8:18. What's the meaning of that? 13 minutes?
Stay compliant. Stay isolated. Stay safe. And now, on to other news. Say goodbye to cows and beef.
Isn't that evil looking? Right, that kind of looked like satanic there a
As
little
you might
bit.
know, cows and livestock agriculture in general is a source of methane, a powerful
And I'm sure you've heard about the blow up. They're blowing up all our food sources, and they just killed like 10,000 or 20,000 cows, right? So you think that was a coincidence? No. They're trying to kill all the cows. They don't want us to have meat. They want to kill all the cows.
greenhouse gas. Cows fart, and the temperature on Earth rises 1 degree.
Now, AOC, a couple of years ago, and I'm sure others have said, and everybody mocked her for it, rightly so, that cows fart methane, right? You heard this. So this is, I mean, she's obviously New World Order, has been, a little Nazi, communist, socialist that she is. So this is definitely how they wanted to kill all the cows off.
With each cow fart, contributing to global warming. This is why the authorities started a cow extermination program, and today the last herd of
They really want to kill all the cows. I mean, these psychopaths are without end. And in India, they worship cows, right? I mean, this is, is that symbolic of that? Is that why they're killing all the cows? Because I can't figure out. I mean, I know they want to starve us and make us eat bugs, but why are they so murderous with the cows? I mean, they really want to kill all the cows.
cows has been dealt with. The Earth has officially become a cow-free planet, and climate change is finally
They want to make a cow-free planet. This is for real, people. This is how crazy these psychopaths are.
under control. You might get concerned. Where would we obtain our proteins from? Chicken and pork are not commonly accessible products, and beef is gone now. Do not worry. Hundreds of alternative protein manufacturing facilities.
So these are the facilities that Bill Gates has been building and has started building already. I think this looks exactly like one of Bill Gates's meat places, his fake meat.
Have been constructed on each continent. They process thousands of tons of protein-rich food. This alternative food contains way more protein than beef. It is cheap to cultivate and it doesn't contribute to global warming.
This is what Klaus Schwab wants you to eat. Remember I was saying Angelina Jolie and Nicole Kidman and probably others, they're just like this, a bowl. Nicole Kidman had a bowl just like this full of these maggots, and she's eating them. This is what Klaus Schwab wants for you, and Bill Gates and the rest of them, Biden and the rest.
Kudos to science and green agenda.
That is all for today.
Stay tuned for tomorrow's news.
Bruce Kowalski.
You keep complying with their stuff, this is where it's all headed.
Your monthly universal basic income has been deposited into.
Oh, the universal basic income now that all the stupid woke idiots want. Well, look what happens with your universal basic income and how they charge you for everything. Look at these charges, and these are for real. They're
Your
going to do
account.
this.
For more information, press details. You have been paid 2,000 central bank digital tokens. The following fees are being deducted: accommodation fee, food ration fee, recycling fee, clean energy fee, personal greenhouse gas emissions fee, climate change fee, diversity fee.
So they'll put you in a concentration camp and then they'll charge you for accommodation and recycling, as well as all their other made-up charges, diversity.
Your
So if you're white, you're gonna get a diversity charge.
current remaining balance is 5 central bank digital tokens.
So he has 5 digital tokens left after having to pay all this BS from his universal basic income. And then you'll see he can't buy anything with it. You'll look what they have for sale, his choices of
And
what he
if
can
not
buy.
spent, it will expire in 7 days.
Oh yeah, then there's that.
Discover unforgettable travel.
So they'll give you, and they've already said this, that they'll give you universal basic income, but then it'll expire, you know. And of course, if you're not up to date on your boosters, they just won't give you money probably. And here's what he can rent. So he can rent all these things are meant to keep him isolated in his prison cell. So what can he get? He can get a smart TV, rent for 90 tokens, or he can get a virtual reality headset, try to leave. That's what they really want. They want to put virtual reality headsets, which is already, as you know, already out there, and they're giving to kids and trying to get them to use. And Mark Zuckerberg with his metaverse, right? So this is all real. This is all real. This is not fantasy. This is exactly what they're doing. This is what they're showing you. They're just showing you with this cartoon where it's going. When the globalists, you know, Zuckerberg and Bloomberg and Larry Fink, BlackRock, and Jacinda Ardern and Macron and Trudeau, Biden, this is where they're going, and they know this is where they're going. And so this is where it's all headed. So and then you'll be able to rent a headset and you can be on the metaverse with Zuckerberg. And then, oh, of course, video games. Video games are, of course, a large part of the New World Order agenda to keep you isolated.
Attention. Important announcement.
Dear residents of the quarantine facility.
Okay, so yeah, and also young people now are so addicted to those video games. I mean, how many times do you hear in the news of a young person like killing their parent because they couldn't get to their video games, right? I mean, it's a serious matter how they're controlling them with this. So now here's the escape. Okay, so you see his slippers over there. He doesn't have shoes. He has slippers. That's all they give you. They're gray. But now the only escape you have is if you decide to be a guinea pig for Big Pharma, Nova Gene Labs. So you notice the gene is in there. It's all about genetics. You know, killing your genetics, new gene labs. Everything's going to be mRNA, genetic therapy, right? They want to do everything with genes and get rid of the doctors and nurses. I mean, that's another part of this, right? But here we go.
Number 89. Great news.
Here at Nova Gene Labs, we grant you a chance to participate in the trials of our new.
Now, I don't know if that's like Jeffrey Epstein mimicking there. Does that look like Jeffrey Epstein's pyramid a little bit? Or maybe I'm just imagining.
Gene Labs, we grant you a chance to participate.
I'm wondering about that logo, though. Why did they choose that logo? 2 blue dots and an orange dot. Does anybody know why they would choose that?
Great news.
Here at Nova Gene Labs, we grant you a chance to participate in the trials of our new drug, which has been developed by our research team.
Notice all the contamination around it, right? They're spinning around their little DNA molecule and all this contamination.
This drug is absolutely safe and will bring the end to the deadly virus we are all fighting together for the last several years. Those of you who chose to participate will get a significant social credit score boost. As the result, you will be relocated to a superior isolation facility. Receive a higher universal basic income. and become eligible for an improved food ration.
So they're going to deprive you and imprison you, and they'll say, but look, if you work with us, donate your body to science so we can experiment on you. Look, we'll give you all this delicious food that you could have had before you let us take over, all the regular food, and you'll go to a nice warm place and a nice a nicer prison camp.
Should you choose to participate in the Nova Gene Labs clinical trials program, our specialist will visit you within the next few hours. Make an
But Alex Jones was pointing out that, it's all about you have to agree to it. I don't know if it's part of their satanic thing or whatever, but basically what this is about is, they're promising you all this, wonderful fantasy escape if you allow them to experiment on you with their new gene therapies. But in reality, I mean, they're going to kill who does this. They're going to end up like so many people who've taken the snake bites. They're going to end up in a body bag, and that's your escape, which we're going to see next. But yeah, there's something about, but you have to agree to it. So at the end of this commercial, they ask him, "Do you want to do it?" And so it's like you have to comply and say, "Yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll take it." You know. So that's an important part of the New World Order satanic ritual of killing us after we give them permission to kill us, basically, is what it boils down to.
injection, and will be daily monitoring your condition online. Your participation is very important to us and the
See, that's a key part of this whole New World Order, getting you to comply, signing up for their digital tokens, signing up for their, snake bites.
rest of the world.
Make a difference. Follow the science and make the right choice. Nova Gene Labs is not responsible for any side effects, injuries, or death followed after the injection.
And not responsible for any deaths.
Sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear you won't be allowing us to give you. So now he's remembering. Going back to his memories and his happy days. There's Havana, he's in Cuba. Havana, oh no. Special. So he's remembering his previous life that they want to take away from us. See, they're showing you everything that the New World Order, Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates wants to take away from you. Driving in a gas guzzler, right, instead of electric car. So you see what happens. There's the Nova Labs. They're coming to visit his friend. His friend obviously clicked yes. These are great graphics, aren't they? So now the guy comes out of the helicopter. Now you notice he's wearing that, white suit with the face covered. He's the executioner. And this is exactly what they look like in China, right? This is exactly how they dressed in China when they came in and ripped people out of their apartments to take them to the concentration camps. I mean, they've already done this in China, but they did it by force. They ripped people out of, if you had a positive PCR test, they ripped you out of your home. So they're using the exact same look of the person there. So instead of taking, now in the commercial, they promised to take you to this wonderful new concentration camp in the sun and have all this delicious food. But this is the reality, right? There's a fantasy they give you, and there's the reality. The reality is they send this guy over to give you the shot, basically kill you in your apartment. There's only one way you escape these cells. I don't know how that happened. I mean, this just might be a glitch, but they have the guy walking to the apartment building, and then you see him on the balcony walking in. Very dramatic, though. Oh, just a friendly guy in the white suit comes in, and you never see the guy again. What kind of sick minds would come up with this? What kind of, these are just power thirsty, power hungry criminal psychopaths would come up with an idea like this for humanity. I mean, it's just evil, just really satanic. I mean, who gets off on doing this to people besides Hitler, aka Klaus Schwab, right? I mean, who in their right mind would want something like this? This kind of dystopia. Yeah, I mean, they got to show. I hope in the next part two they show how the top 1% are living, because they must be living high in the hog and the life. They must have this wonderful fantasy life, but I can't imagine that the life is that great if there's only a few people on the entire earth left. I mean, you've just killed off all the creative artists and the excitement and all the input. Instead, if you only have a very small incestuous little group of people left, it's not going to be very interesting. That's all I gotta say. So see, he's looking for his friend that he waves to every morning, and his friend's not coming out today, the day after he got the visit from the Nova Labs. And he'll never see his friend again until he comes out in a body bag.
GoDaddy is a partner that always puts you first.
Yeah, so this is they're warning you with this movie. They're saying this is really going to happen. Okay, so now it's 2:41. I'm just wondering, is there something with these times? 8 something and now 2:41, 2 something. And you notice his number on his little apartment is 202. I don't know if that means anything. Oh, see that there's the... Now look how they collect the bodies here. So even when they come to collect your body, they just have, robots do it. And you notice on the side, like Alex Jones pointed out, so they put your dead body in there and you're bio-recycled. Bio-recycled. So why are they recycling people's bodies? Oh, because Soylent Green, right? Soylent Green, they're going to feed it back to you, the meat from the bodies for protein. So you're going to eat your other people. They're going, that's what they're doing. They're taking, so when people start dying off, they're just going to take the meat from the dead people and feed it back, like Soylent Green movie. This is part of the plan. So you're not going to see any mass graves or people being tossed into a mass grave like you saw in World War II with the Nazis. No, here you're going to be recycled. You'll be liquefied. So at the end of the day, there'll be no evidence of their crimes, right? So then when they go future generations, it'll be like these people never existed, right? All the information's gone, everything's destroyed, and there's no graves. So there'll be no... they've already planned it out so that there's no memory, or there's nothing left to signify. There's no Auschwitz left, to signify what happened and how many were there. There's gonna be no, and that's why I think that it's part of the plan, I think, that's why they're killing little by little, so there's no mass evidence of their crimes. They really thought this out, these psychos. Maybe that's why they started recycling to begin with, because they knew they were going to end up here, right? Because I've heard that a lot of times recycling stuff doesn't end up getting recycled. They just toss it in the garbage, I've heard. So now he goes back to his past before. So this part is where they show how it all started when he was with his wife or his girlfriend. And they show how the psychology of how they divided people up, like they divided him from his wife, and how this was all done purposefully and with the psychology being used against us by the globalists.
A new virus that emerged in Asia a couple of months ago keeps spreading all over the world. Some countries are imposing lockdowns and stay-home orders to protect their populations from this highly contagious disease. In our country, 3 persons in their 90s.
So you see, to start with, they're together, they're sitting next to each other. She's got her arm around him, kind of like Meghan Markle a little bit. But you see they're showing you how close they are. And this is significant. And I can't read what it says back there. Is that to-do shopping list or something? So anyways, here we go.
These died of the virus in long-term care facilities.
So they go shopping, and you'll notice it says fresh meat up there and fresh dairy in the background. They're really emphasizing that. So they're going back to how they're taking all this away, right? And everything, toilet paper, right? They always go for the toilet paper first in a pandemic, right? For some reason.
The virus keeps spreading in our country. Almost 500 new cases have been registered last week.
So here's the fear mongering they put out.
As of today, the whole country is going into a complete lockdown. The health authorities are imposing a strict stay-at-home order. While these measures are tough, they are temporary. We need only 2 weeks to bend the curve.
Right, 2 weeks to bend the curve, right? Flatten the curve. They say bend. So they're showing the headlines here. The virus is spreading, 9,000 cases a day. Yeah, fake cases. Just quick check those.
Temporary. We need only 2 weeks to bend the curve.
So the first one says the virus cases keep growing. They're showing you all the fear porn. And of course, this is what we've already been through, right? More people test positive, and you got the little coronavirus there. More people positive. Oh no. The virus is spreading, 9,000 cases. Oh no. More cases. See, they're emphasizing it. Now, this is what reminds me of Governor Cuomo. Look at every day with the update of how many cases. Remember that? What a psyop that was. Every day. And I was following it. That's so embarrassing. You're like, every day in MSNBC, oh, we've got this many cases today. We need ventilators. Oh, look, the Chinese Communist Party is giving us ventilators. Oh, they're so kind and generous. Kill people on ventilators. Yay. Transforming our world, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. There it is, United Nations. So this is where it's all coming from. 2030. That's what they're heading. That's the date. Great Reset. Yes, that's what it's all about. There's an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneous managing of direct consequence of the COVID-19 crisis to improve the state of the world. The World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset Initiative. All true stuff. It's a true story. So now here's oh, this is funny.
The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world.
Did you catch that with the alien eyes, the reptile eyes?
Listen,
Oops. And I got a commercial now. So they show his reptilian eyes. And I mean, what kind of psychopath says, oh, look, a pandemic. What a great opportunity. Oh, wonderful. So wonderful. Wait, I want to show his reptilian
Opportunity
eyes.
to reflect, reimagine, and reset.
See, right there, see, they did the reptile eyes. Wow. So, I mean, this cartoon, I don't know. Everything in here is real. That's all I gotta say. They're putting everything real in it. Just all. He is such a creepy, creepy alien looking thing, isn't he?
Our world.
So now you're getting into, as events are unfolding, he's learning about the Great Reset. He's learning about the globalists. He's learning about what they're doing, their plan. They put it all out there, and his wife isn't. Right? So this starts the division. Suddenly he's a conspiracy theorist, and she's going to say, you're crazy, you know, because he's learning. So they're showing how he's learning this stuff, but she's remaining to listen to the mainstream media. And this is all intentional. They set it up because they knew some people would research this and find out about what the globalists are doing, while others would remain in ignorance. And that this is the vaxxers, anti-vaxxers, turning people against their families. Oh, friends, dividing people. I mean, this really happened, and this was all intentional. This was all strategized. See, she's pointing to mainstream media. Look, mainstream media, Fauci says, and he's pointing out, no, Fauci's lying. And she's like, you're a conspiracy theorist. I mean, this is exactly what played out. This is all real. So now they're pointing out how they're in lockdown for the year, and they're just getting sick and tired of each other, because that's another thing, is locking people down with their families is causes them to fight and get sick and cause problems in relationships. And then here they're showing how she's in her cell phone, he's on his computer, like they're together, but their minds are divided by the electronics, right? Everybody's on the internet, no one's talking to each other anymore. Now you see, now they're separated. In the beginning they were next to each other, but now they're completely separated by the devices. They're separated by this COVID crisis, by the propaganda, the psyop going on. This was all intentional. So she finally leaves him. So now he's going to be really isolated, completely isolated. They're saying, what happened? What happened? Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates happened. That's what happened.
Despite strict lockdowns being in place, the virus cases keep growing exponentially. The government is considering the option of proclaiming a state of...
So now he's alone and he's getting drunk. Now remember when Biden's original mouthpiece, Jen Psaki, told people during the COVID, oh, if you're feeling stressed out, don't worry about it, just go have a margarita. So they wanted people to get to, and now they're legalizing drugs everywhere, right? I believe in Canada they just legalized all drugs, and they're legalizing more and more drugs because they want people to just get drugged up and drunk and just not think about what's happening, not fight back, just go into a complacent state of inebriation and just go get high and let them take over the world. Don't think about it, right?
emergency in some areas and relocating citizens to safe and isolated quarantine facilities.
1 week later. Now, this is kind of scary because this hasn't happened yet, although Alex Jones said this happened in China. So this is how they're going to do it when they take you to the concentration camps. You're going to wake up and all of your computer, cell phone, everything, TV is going to be doing an alarm and telling you to pack your stuff and get on the school bus. And Alex Jones said they did this with thousands of people at one time.
Attention all citizens. Your district is contaminated and you will be evacuated immediately. Please take only necessary personal belongings and step outside of your homes. You will be transported to a safe, isolated location.
A safe, isolated location. And they got to put you on school buses to bring you back to your childhood where you feel all safe on the school bus. And you'll notice that the army, the military is helping. There we are, getting on the school buses. Don't do it. Don't get on there. Now, this is the point where I'm like, I'm not cooperating for sure. And see, look how threatening it is with the guns and everything, or the rifle there. Yeah. This is not a suggestion. This is you're being told. They're showing that if you try to leave your little cell, look at all the military with the rifles waiting for you to kill you, right? And this is for real. When they do it, they're going to do it with, thousands of people at once. I just thought of it. Event 201 was the first pandemic, so I think they're saying the next pandemic, 202, is why the number of his house is 202. It might be that, referring to that. $7.59 to 8. Is there a significance in that? I don't know. Now he's decided to fight back. And so they're showing you here with this that all you need is a stick to fight back. And that's what they've been doing in the UK, right? They started putting cameras up in the UK and people have been destroying them. So you gotta start right away. Now he's breaking off his prison bracelet there, his tracking bracelet. And that tracking bracelet is just like what people use with the iPhones, right? They put a new iPhone, and it goes right on your wrist. You can wear it like a watch. It's your future prison bracelet here. So he's got his stick. He's going for freedom. So he's showing how easy it is to overcome these technologies. I mean, these are just primitive technologies that you can just take a baseball bat or a stick and just get rid of it. You don't need 5G towers, you just take them down. So now here comes the police drone to zap him again. It's because he took off the bracelet. they're not able, the thing isn't able to zap him. It says target tag is not located. So the machinery has trouble tracking him to find him to zap him because he's not wearing his little bracelet.
Attention. Non-compliant resident alert.
This is why it's important that everybody needs to do this in order to
Attention.
stop it.
Non-compliant resident alert. Attention. Non-compliant resident alert.
Interesting, they call it non-compliant resident. Like vaccine hesitant. Non-compliant resident. I mean, they're a prisoner. This is a prisoner situation. It's like prisoner alert, prisoner escape. But they're using the new woke New World Order language. Non-compliant resident.
Attention. Non-compliant resident alert.
So you see there with the door, he's pointing out that he escapes in the garbage truck.
Attention. Non-compliant resident alert.
Although he leaves the stick behind in the end, which I can't figure out why. I wouldn't drop the stick. I would keep it with me. So that is the end of that. Hopefully there's a part 2 showing. So a lot of details in there. And this is all real. It's all really happening, what they're really done, what they're really doing. This is where it's all headed. So yeah. Do I know that this film has been endorsed by Charles? Really? Oh, this film is a warning of where this is all going. So if Charles endorses it, then that means that he's trying to wake people up too then. So that would be a positive sign if that's the case. I hope that is the case. Yeah, there's a QR. Okay, the QR code on the door, they said that they just grabbed a QR code from somewhere. It doesn't mean anything. Like if you use the code, it's not going to take you anywhere. You know, it's not an actual, oops, I accidentally great reset. Wikipedia, look at Wikipedia doing a great reset fact check. If anybody trusts Wikipedia, nobody does, right? Everybody knows it's all more New World Order garbage. So yeah, so they had written, I was looking that they had written that, okay, so they wrote a comment here, the people who created this 3D Epics. They said, I would like to address the most common and reoccurring comments. Number 1, many thanks to everyone who made a donation. 2, Spanish, German, French, English, Portuguese, and Romanian subtitles are now available. 3, okay, so the creators of this has never watched Pet Goat 2 until people started mentioning it here. The music is not from there. Okay, I thought it sounded like the goat music, but he's saying it's not. Number 4, plants release oxygen only during the day. At night, when photosynthesis doesn't happen, they release carbon dioxide. And here are some links about that. And you'll notice he doesn't use a Wikipedia link. Number 5, the QR code. Okay, so he mentions the QR code here. The QR code on the door was randomly picked from the internet. Never checked it before using it for the animation. Number 6, the sequel is possible, but I haven't come up with the plot, and it will take some time to accomplish. And 7, spoiler, yes, the main character escaped in the garbage truck. So he hasn't started doing a part 2 yet, so, you know, make sure you go to his channel here, leave a comment, say, we want part 2, we want part 2. Okay, I won't bother him with that. But this is an excellent movie, and it's all based on fact and what's really happening and where they're really going. This is Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, Bloomberg, Macron, Trudeau, Jacinda Ardern, everyone else. This is where they're all headed, where they all want to take us, because they are 6 psychopath criminals only the most evil psychopath minds, a group of minds. It's really scary when a group of psychopaths get together like this. This is the future they want for everyone. This makes them happy to see this. This is what they want, because they have no love, no life, no humanity. They're just dark, demonic souls, or reptiles, possibly. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this. You watched the movie and pass it around. Make sure to spread it around. It's a great movie. And everyone needs to be warned. Fight back before it gets to this point. It's already going there. All right, so have a good day, everyone. Take care.